Good morning. Welcome to the London session. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so it's a brand new week, and here we go again with trying to see what we can harvest from the market. Looking at the dollar index, right? I think on Friday, let's see where Friday is. Okay, Friday. Thursday. Thursday we had a session with you guys. Thursday price was down here, right? So those of you on YouTube, I'm talking about. Friday price was here, and I made mention that if we go through this candle here, if we trade through that, this candle's long, if we trade through that, then it's gonna continue going up, right? So during the session I gave you guys to sell short the Aussie to continue going down, to sell short the New Zealand to continue going down. Okay, and I remember on the 1 hour time frame right here, this imbalance, I said once that candle closes I'm sorry, the H4, because we started the session at 9:30, so 10 o'clock, that was this candle here, right? So that was a 10 o'clock candle, and then we began the 2 o'clock candle, which is this one, and I said if it trades back into that, you want to sell short and then look for continuation to the downside, and that was delivered beautifully. But since you guys are not with me on Friday and on Monday, whatever I gave during those days, you probably wouldn't know. But dollar, we've been bullish. We are looking for continuation to the upside. It's kind of right now stuck in a range, but overall we are still bullish. Okay, it might stay sideways for maybe today and tomorrow, and that will allow the foreign currencies it will allow the crosses to be moved. So when this is going sideways like this, right, this is gonna move the crosses. So euro, pound, New Zealand, Aussie, if you pair them up, the crosses, euro, Aussie, euro, pound, euro, New Zealand, pound, Aussie, all those crosses, right? When dollar is in this kind of consolidation, then they are going to move. All right, so I think you are best off looking at the crosses rather than looking at the majors right now, because dollar is in consolidation, euro is going to be in a consolidation, as you can see right now. Pound is in a consolidation after the big drop. New Zealand, it's now rejecting. So what I'm thinking is that today they might manipulate the New Zealand pair and the Aussie pair because of this H4 candle that has just been printed, right? So Aussie pairs like euro Aussie, this one might stay in a consolidation or it might retrace. Same thing with the euro New Zealand, because yesterday or between Thursday and now, you can see how big the move has been. Okay, and then we talked about this all from last week as well. So looking at that, your best trade, right, is gonna be to find a cross. Okay, to find a cross that is yet to attack liquidity. So I've not done any analysis on the other crosses because I just didn't wake up early enough to do that analysis, right? So as you're going through each individual pair, right, if there is anything that it's tradable, I will let you know. For example, this Aussie here, right, the fact that we closed above it, that can just be a buy on its own, maybe to come up here, right, to come up to that level up there, up here. Okay, so what I mean by it's that can be a scalp, buying that auto block, leaving your stop below that, and targeting that imbalance up there. Let me remove that magnet. Okay, and New Zealand would also potentially do the same, buying this auto block here and taking it up to that imbalance up there as well. Okay, that's, in my opinion, this morning, one of the trades that you can take. I actually shared a trade with my members on Aussie Yen for a buy. It has the same, if you check Aussie Yen, it has the same kind of candles, H4, and I shared a pullback to optimal trade entry to buy long. So hopefully that will be a trade for us this morning. I'm gonna show you in a second. Give me one sec. If you do like this one, right, basically it's just a trade from this down candle up, and if you measure the high to the low, right, it gives you optimal trade entry during the London session to go up. So you're gonna take partial above this high here, and then the rest you're gonna let it go for that level up there. Okay, and then same thing applies to Aussie. Those are the two that has high probability. Pound, I don't like it. And euro, I don't like it. Okay, so these are the best two for now. Dollar CAD, this morning we had this candle close below that after they hit my target. Thursday during our session, right, the buy that I gave you guys here, that they took out this low, price traced back down into that down candle on the H4, that's a buy, and they're gonna take out this high there and then trade for that high up there, and they did that nicely. So my trade that I took that day, actually collapsed everything here. It was automatically collapsed. Oops. Right there. After we took out this high, that's exactly where. So I got in on that candle there, and then I took partials along the way, and then everything was collapsed here. That was the buy on Thursday after the rate announcement. All right, so this morning they had price hit where I anticipated them trading to. There's a small imbalance there, and gave this auto block here, and price retraces back into it, and it's rejecting. So I think right now it might go for this low, might go for this low here, and then maybe trade to this one for the day. So let me highlight that. Yeah, I'll leave this one here. Back to these candles right there. So it's gonna go for this low, and I think it can, expand down to that level as well. So you wanna anticipate price coming down here. And obviously, if you've been around me for some time, then you would have got an entry here, because that's what I teach for the private group, right, or the VIP members. That's your entry here. Or you can break it down and then you can get an entry here, or you can just take a sell in there at exactly this candle's high, right? Because that's when you trade into that level with the time of the day. Okay, so it's this candle's high. Okay, that's when you trade inside that imbalance with time of the day, with the stop above that high. So we are looking for a run for this low and then back to 129655. Okay, Euro pound, I am looking for a run above this high here. I want to see a big candle, not as big as that, but a massive candle going above that high. My draw on liquidity is on 0.8783. You want to highlight that level. I think that's where price is going, so trade in that direction. If you want to know how I came about that level projection, levels, here we have this equal high, but most importantly, let's go to the quarterly time frame. This high to that low, the middle is here. Okay, so I'm anticipating a run into that. Maybe after that price might come back down. We don't know, but looking at how price is trading, I think price is trying to reach for higher prices. On the daily time frame, all this, right, from last year to there has been like a long-term consolidation. All right, even though if I zoom in, it looks like it has been trending. If you squeezed the chart, you see that it's been a long-term consolidation. So anytime you have this kind of price action, it's just easy for price to breach through all this, because there's nothing in here to stop price. Now that we are above this high, I don't think there's anything here. The only thing that it's important is the imbalance I showed you on the quarterly time frame. Right, this one here. Everything else is irrelevant. So just look for buys on this pair to continue going up. Gold. Gold. If you watch Thursday's live session, you will see I talked about price potentially trading back to this up candle and then coming back down here. Now, I personally did not take it. I did not take that trade because of NFP, because it was Friday, the 5th. I'm sorry, price traded to it on Friday, and then on Thursday, and then Friday we had the NFP. So the day, let me go back. the day of the NFP was here. Okay, with the NFP, I wanted to see them trade back to this candle's high, and then I'll sell short, because yes, that was the level that I was looking for, this one here, but reaction I wanted reaction to show me that indeed they want to go down, and I got that here. So price coming back to this candle would have been the perfect entry to send price down here, and then obviously to 1844, but I didn't get there. This week that was on my list of trades, and so far they've not given me anything, but I haven't given up yet, because this low is still intact. Okay, as long as that low is still intact, I'm still interested in that level. I will not be interested if they take out this low. Okay, but as long as this low is still there, I'm still interested in that level up there. All right, so keep that level on your chart until this low is taken. Once this low is gone, then you can get rid of that level. I'm not saying it's not going to react, but taking a trade here will mean targeting something. But if they've already taken out the target that I'm anticipating, then if I take it here, I don't have any other target, right? So it would be best to sit on your hands if they take out this low, and then I'll probably see what price will do after they take out this low and they come up here. Maybe it will form something down here for me to get a trade to go up. This low to this high, back down somewhere in here, that will give you optimal trade entry. But I'm patiently waiting for the month of June. Between June and July, that's when we usually form the low on gold for a potential summer move to the upside. So between June, July, towards the end of June and then July, that's when gold usually goes up. So I'm timing that with this impulse leg here, and somewhere in here is where I'll look for the buy to form. So maybe they might just keep going up, down, up, down, up, down until the time, or until that season, and then I'll look for the buy. Okay, but right now, this is where the draw on liquidity is, this level here, and this is a potential entry level. Okay. Oil, I think oil has retraced and it can continue going up. What I'm watching is how we trade with this H4 candle, and then how we trade inside this. I want to see, we've got 1 hour 9 minutes. I want to see this candle stay bullish. Okay, I want to see this candle stay bullish. Now, when it was trading down, you can see I have two levels here, right? Relative to previous week's range, we have this high and that low. All right, so what I was anticipating was price to come down to this level, give me a reaction, and then start going up, or they're gonna take our previous week low, which I think it came very close and they should have taken it. So it's making it a bit awkward in terms of trying to buy this to go back up here, because they've left that equal low now. Maybe I could be wrong, or I can be wrong, and they'll just leave that and go up. But I don't like the fact that they've left this low, which is the previous week low, and price is rejecting. Okay, so it's an awkward pair right now for me. If this H4 closes as it is, maybe you give a bit of a boost of a potential buy to come up here. All right, but I'll still be concerned with this equal low here, so maybe I'll stay away. Because if I'm buying, I don't want to be buying looking behind me thinking, one candle can snap and then just drop down quickly to attack this equal low. So because of that, I'm gonna be maybe wait a little bit between tomorrow and Thursday. It might give me some clear indication on what it wants to do, and then I'll look for a trade. But as it is now, I need more time. I need maybe at least after this candle closes, then I'll see what I can do. All right, on the 1 hour time frame, we've gone above a short-term high, which is good, and it's leaving an imbalance. All right, so that's a positive sign, but I would rather they took out this low and then left the imbalance. Okay, but on the daily, they've taken out this order block as well, so there's a lot of positivity. I just don't like the way they left that low there. But overall, this is where I think price is coming up here. That's where I think price is coming, or price is going for the right time. That's where I think price is going. We had price drop down from this high, and then we broke market structure. High, low, break. So pull back, we attack this one, but this is the main high that led to the downside move. And more reason why I think it's going to go there is because they took out this low. Okay, so this leg took out this low and then broke market structure. So price will likely try to draw up in here. If they closed below this low here, or if price did close below that low, then I would have looked for this high to that low, price to come to OTE like it did here, and then attack this low. So between this high and this low, this OTE should have come down and attacked this low, right? If price closed below that low, but because it was a run on stop, okay, because it was a run on stop, then it makes this high suspect, and the fact that this couldn't make a new low and we've made a new high, draw is up here. Okay, but for this week, this equal high, it's more than enough. Okay, this equal high is more than enough to close in that imbalance up there. That's what I anticipated last week, to close in that imbalance. I actually took a trade on this order block here after they ran it and broke market structure on the lower time frame. I took a long, and then I got stopped out Monday, yesterday. Okay, I'll show you here. That's why I got stopped out. So I took a long on this imbalance. You can see I went long right here with a stop loss below here, and then I got taken out there. But that was where I was looking for price to go, to close in that imbalance in there. So you can use this 1 hour imbalance in here after the H4 closes. We've got 1 hour 3 minutes. Once that closes and they've not traded down here, you can use that for an entry, or you can wait for it to trade back to this last down candle and then use that as an entry. You're gonna take partial in here and then just leave the rest. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat this down candle or that imbalance, take partial here and then leave the rest. Bitcoin, we have finally arrived. Right, price traded to all the objectives that I was expecting. First was here last week. Now let's go back to, I think, this H4. Okay, because last week Thursday, where's last week Thursday? Here. During our live session, I mentioned that price has traded to OTE relative to previous week's range. Therefore, I'm looking for a drive below this equal low. Okay, and boy did it drop, right? It dropped like crazy. So this high to that low, that's the previous week's range. I'm sorry, not that one, this one to that one. That was that previous week's range, and then we started the new week, price traded up, OTE, boom, down. So during our session, price was somewhere, in here, and I said I'm bearish, I'm looking for it to go down. 2 o'clock, it just went down like melting butter, and then so far this is where we at. I still think they're gonna go for this equal low. Okay, I don't think they're gonna come here and then go up. It's I don't see that happening. All right, so from where we are right now, we should see it drop and attack this low. So if you want to sell it, just leave your stop loss above. If you leave it up here, they might take it out before coming down. Crypto is a bit crazy, so I'll leave it up here. Okay, because of that imbalance there, I'll leave it up. If we close today like this, then I'll sell this one. Okay, so if we close today, then I'll be interested in that imbalance here. But as it is right now, this is an imbalance that price can spike into it and still reject and go lower. So don't leave your stop loss above this high. You'll be protected here. If this one closes, then if this candle closes for the day, then you can leave it up here and then sell that imbalance. Same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum is gonna go for these lows here, and it's the same narrative. Either they're gonna rally up in here and drop, or today closes like this, this becomes the imbalance, you want to sell in there and then continue going lower. Okay, so pretty much that's it on these pairs. So the best ones that identified is this one here, taking out this low and then trading into that, and then this one taking out this high and trading into that. New Zealand doing the same thing, taking out this high and then trading into that. Those are in my opinion, the best pairs to be focusing on because of what I am seeing on them. The rest is just not as clean as you want it or I want it to be. So, it's hands off. On gold, if you want to trade it, that is also, it's not as perfect or as great as the Aussie and New Zealand, but they traded above this. They traded above this candle here, right? So that's just a pullback, and it can also trade into this imbalance again, especially the high. But if you were to make a choice, if I was to choose which one to trade, I'll trade this one all day and that one because of the H4. Let's go to these pairs. I mentioned earlier that they might keep, maybe for today they might take these ones into a pullback. So I think, let me check this one. I wouldn't touch them till New York session. Okay, I want to give it time and then see what would develop, and then I'll see, because we've had such an incredible run. Last week Thursday, where's my I need to do this. Bear with me a second. Let me adjust my there you go. Get rid of this. Okay, that's how I like it. Okay. Last week Thursday, during our live session, I told you where I got my entry, right? In here. That's where I got my entry, and I gave you to target this equal high and that imbalance up there, right? And we got that delivered nicely. So with that run, I think maybe price will pause, because we are trading inside one, an imbalance, and then two, we are trading at a decent level. It's the last move up and then we went down. So the up candle in here, that's where we're currently trading at. So we might see maybe a down candle form. So maybe wait till New York session. During the New York session, it might give you, clear price action for you to know what it's trying to do. Right now, it'll be, gambling. If you're trying to get a long or short, it'll be gambling. You're not supposed to be taking none of that up here. Okay. So wait till New York session. And that will go for all these pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Best is to wait for New York session. And it's hindsight, but I can talk about it because I anticipated that. Remember, I said that this low here, right? It's not a good low because it dropped too quick, and sometimes they can come and attack this low. The only reason for me to go in long is if we go above the Wednesday's high, this one here. So on Thursday, right, we had that run all the way up to take out that high. Now, what led me to believe that price was gonna go up, it's this low, this high, and that low. We went above it, so that was a breaking structure. This low here, right, it failed to make a high, so this is an engineered low. This is the imbalance with the auto block, right? So price hitting it and then them trading back above this down candle, that gave me, you know, the confidence to go in. So on Friday, this is where I jumped in. I went in with 2 trades in here. That was a retracement to an imbalance during the New York session, and then on the 15 minutes time frame in here, I bought that one as well. So I got an entry here and then another entry there, targeting this high and that level. My goal or my other target, it was this high here, but looking at how price has traded this morning, I closed everything, and I'm gonna anticipate and wait if it will give me another entry. All right, so I'm waiting to see if it will give me like a proper pullback, maybe in here or in here, for another buy to continue going up. Okay, now this pair is the one that I think it has the potential to go up, but I'm watching this candle's high, okay, because it's a previous week's range idea, which I like trading. Last week we went up and then we started retracing, and then this week Monday we traded down into the imbalance. So what I'm looking for is a continuation to the upside to attack this high, but this candle's high is a problem. Okay, you can see they've stabbed it once, rejection, twice rejection. I want to see the H4 close above it, not the H1. I want to see the H4 close above it. If H4 closes above it, that's a good sign that we might come up here. I'm not saying it's confirmed, but it's a good sign. So you can use the low formed as your stop loss, and whatever H4 candle that closes, the very next one that opens, you're using that as your entry. So let's say this one is gonna close up here within the next 4 hours, because this is the one that just closed. So between now and 2 o'clock, wherever we're gonna close, sometimes it will leave an imbalance because you have 4 candles, right? So this will be the first one, second one, third one. It will leave some form of an imbalance. When it does that, you're gonna use that imbalance to take a trade and then leave your stop loss down here. Okay, but this is what I was talking about earlier regarding the New Zealand and the Aussie. This one created this auto block, so that pulling back, optimal trade entry, that's a buy. That's 50%. Aussie was the one that went for optimal trade entry. Ignore the sell, okay. Something that I'm testing, but this is the trade that I've shared with the community. We are looking for price to move from here to go here, and then this equal high. All right, ignore the sell. Like I said, I'm testing out something, but this is what we have. I shared this one and not the New Zealand because of this pair, because I think we've traded into discount, so the Aussie will gain some strength, hence I want to buy this one here. All right, so that's why I shared this one. So for our members, if you're wondering why I didn't share both, is because I feel like they're both gonna go, but you can see the percentage change. I like this one. Okay, and it's a Tuesday. If you get this for a Tuesday morning, that is not bad. It's about 72, almost 78 pips, right? And if you get all of that, that would be 165 for a Tuesday. That's not bad. Okay, also to confluence that, what gave me what gave me the confidence with the trade is that if we take out this high, that vertical line off, we have this low, we have that high. Price went and attacked this low here, and then immediately it closed back inside that range. It's something that I've back tested, and most of the time when it does this kind of price action, it's gonna trade to the 50%. Okay, but there's a small imbalance in here. I don't want to go beyond that. That's why I'm exiting right here. When you see a range being broken and price closes back inside the range, you're gonna anticipate price trading to that equilibrium price point at 50%. So the reason for the trade is we went for this low here, closed back in, couple that with an imbalance in here, an auto block here, landing session. So everything is like pointing that there's a potential move to the upside. So that's the the logic behind why I gave that trade. And you can see down here the entry was based on this 1 hour imbalance and absolutely zero drawdown. Okay, so hopefully that can keep going up and give us partial profit there. I should have given it before that, but it's okay. You survive. And another confluence to why I think this one might be the case is the indices, right? This morning, indices are pulling back after the massive drop. Indices correlate a little bit to the yen. So yesterday I actually took a sell on this pair here. Up in here, I took a sell to attack this low. I got 1-to-1 because at the time it was a bit too late, because if I was going to sell short, I should have sold short up here, but I got in there and I got 1-to-1. One-to-one trade. All right, so let's see what we can get from this pair today. And I think pretty much that's it. The indices, I think they are retracing. It's not reversal, I think it's retracing. Maybe you can trade back to this old low here. and then it will resume going lower. I don't think this is a reversal. It probably might even trade up to that last up candle there and then resume going lower. So don't think it's a reversal. If you've caught a buy, it's not a reversal, it's just a pullback. Okay, so watch these candles low, this down candle here, they're low. You can trade back to that and then reject and go lower, and that will be the same for Nasdaq. Watch that imbalance on that daily. And S&P, they've hit a level that I anticipated here, and it's pulling back. Watch this. That's where the last up candle is. Right, so watch that. I think it might trade up into that. I personally don't trade them. I just give my opinion, but most of the time my opinions are playing out. So I'm grateful for that. Do you see the volume imbalance on Aussie and then 92.29? Let's go back to Aussie yen. 92.29. On which time frame? H4 92. What feed are you using? Are you using Oanda or are you using Oanda or FXCM? Because I don't see 92.29. I don't see a volume imbalance. Let me see if it's on FXCM. Okay. FXCM has. Yeah, probably might trade up to that level. I think it might trade to this up candles low. So, yeah, roughly that area. It's counter trend, right? So, I'm not looking for precision when it comes to counter trend. That's that last up candle there. I think that's where it's gonna trade to, but I don't look for that in terms of trades. I want to get out before that. So this is the last up candle. I'm getting out here. It could be. These brokers, they're always doing stuff. What is the idea behind the last up candle on the daily? Let's go to OZN. What's the idea behind this? Because that's where the selling started from, right? This is the last up candle, so that's where the selling started from. So if it's gonna retrace, then it might trace back to that one and then continue going down. An example will be gold here, like this one here, right? When it changed direction there, it traded to the last up candle and then drop. Here, where did it retrace to? The last up candle and then drop. This is the last up candle. That's why I wanted to see price trade to that one before anticipating the drop. It's nothing special, it's just the last up candle before they move down. All right. Any more questions? Because I think I am done. Yes, it's just an auto block. There is more to it. There is more to it. When Okay, so to give you a clue, most of the last up candles, you will see that they are coming off from some sort of an imbalance. Okay, so this one here, this last up candle, if you go on to the daily, it's coming off from this imbalance, right? And let me shade that so you can see. So if you drop down to the H4, that's that last up candle there. So it's coming off from some form of an imbalance. So price will trade back to it. All right. This one is coming off from that imbalance. So that's why I wanted to see price trade back to that. If we go to Aussie Yen, this one, right, is coming off from that imbalance. Okay, they already traded on the H4 to this one, so it doesn't need to go to the H4, but the daily it can. Okay, it can. Nasdaq, we've just talked about it. I said I think price might trade to here. Okay, price might trade to there. It doesn't have to. It's super bearish, right? I would prefer it goes and knock out some people. Okay, because there'll be a lot of people that are profitable with this move here. Okay, so as it's dropping at some point, they need to knock out profitable traders, and I think it will be a perfect time to do it, because down, up, down, up, down, there's been no kind of run on stop yet properly, right? So people are enjoying the downtrend. So if I was if I was moving this market right now, I'll take it all the way up here, and I probably scared most people and bring it a little bit higher and then go down. Okay, because when it comes all the way up here, anyone that is selling will probably will give up, unless you really understand your market structure. When it gets up here, most people are gonna forget about selling, and then I'll send it back down again, because the narrative is on the daily time frame, right? It's bearish. And since most people don't like looking at a higher time frame, you get away with giving a deeper pullback. All right, guys, I appreciate all of you for joining me today. I'm gonna go. I'll see you on Wednesday. Sorry, I'll see you on Thursday for the YouTube members. And for the VIP members, I'll see you this afternoon. Hopefully, we get the Aussie yen to move for us. And I'm still scanning the market. If I do see anything that is of interest when we meet at 2, I'll let you know. All right. So enjoy your morning, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.